Hi, this is Jack Withrow, and I'm alongside Phil C., and this is our high school sports analysis on RNR Sports. Let's take a look at the boys class AAA state tournament. And wow, what an unlikely scenario played out in the championship game with the number 5 seeded Huntington Highlanders against the number 7 seed Hurricane Redskins. Phil, how did these two teams get there?
Yeah, it was very unlikely. The 5 seed Huntington had a very tough matchup. They avenged actually 2 regular season losses to George Washington, and they survived a 40-point effort from John Elmore in the quarterfinals, who, of course, John Elmore was later named State Player of the Year. But Huntington overcame that to beat George Washington in the quarterfinals, and then they took on undefeated powerhouse Washington, who had just been blowing teams out. They were barely challenged all year, but Huntington was able to force them into a rough shooting night. Huntington had a good shooting night themselves, and they were able to match up with Washington athletically, which not many teams all year were able to do. Pulled really probably the shocker of the tournament when they upset Washington.
Phil, let's take a look at the other side of the bracket with number 7 Hurricane coming through.
Yeah, it's not very often in the state tournament when you see a 7 seed be able to make it all the way to the state championship game. But Hurricane did just that. They faced a familiar opponent in South Charleston, and South Charleston got into a lot of foul trouble, had just a brutal shooting night, and Hurricane pulled the upset. And Hurricane was a very good team all year. They played South Charleston pretty tough in the regular season, and they went out and got it. They were not afraid at all. They took it to South Charleston the whole game and pulled the upset. And then in the semifinals, they had one of the all-time classic state tournament games when late Friday night, the last game, they went to triple overtime with Hedgesville, somehow pulled that game out to advance to the finals to take on Huntington.
So let's talk about that championship game between Hurricane and Huntington, Phil.
Yeah, very good game, very tight the whole way, very well played. Hurricane did build the lead in the second half, had the lead for most of the fourth quarter, but Huntington wouldn't go away. Huntington battled back, got a huge 3 late from Tavian Dunn-Martin, and Hurricane did have the ball holding for the last shot, and Eric Nix came up with a great steal. They called timeout with a little over 3 seconds to go. They lobbed the ball in on the inbounds pass over to Nix. Nix got it, went up, and was fouled by JT Rodzaszewski, and went to the line, made 1 free throw. Hurricane got the ball inbounds, got off a late heave, but it wasn't meant to be. Huntington was your 2014 state champions.
So congratulations to the Class AAA state champion Huntington Highlanders. That's all for us now. We will see you next time.